January 27th, 2026. A Ukrainian FPV drone targeted a Russian soldier trying to hide under a tree. In the same area, namely the Lyman region, the Ukrainian Signum Battalion continued to target many Russian soldiers. Russian soldiers in the Lyman region generally try to take up positions in forested areas. However, Ukrainian forces control the entire forested area here, and dozens of drones are sent for attacks every day. Now, a Ukrainian FPV drone is rapidly advancing for an attack and targeting a Russian military vehicle on the road. A group of Russian soldiers came under attack while leaving their trenches in the Donetsk region. A Ukrainian attack drone immediately targets a Russian soldier. Another FPV drone attack. Instead of shooting down the drone, the large group of Russian soldiers chose to flee in different directions. Only one soldier tried to fire at the last moment, but it was too late. Systematic drone attacks continued in the Donetsk region. Numerous drone attacks took place on the road used by Russian soldiers between the Donetsk and Pokrovsk regions. Look at the FPV drone attacks. Russian soldiers are completely defenseless against drones. Russian soldiers are using abandoned vehicles in the region on the front lines. This attack clearly demonstrates this. Why do you think Russian forces continue to insist on using this road when the roads between Donetsk and Pokrovsk are under the control of Ukrainian FPV drones? The Ukrainian FPV drone is once again chasing Russian soldiers. It's a fast chase. The soldier who noticed the drone approaching started firing from the vehicle, but it's very difficult to shoot accurately while moving. And then the inevitable attack came. Ukrainian drone operators from the 3rd Assault Unit destroyed a series of Russian ATVs and other vehicles in the direction of Lyman. Ukrainian FPV drone operators are so experienced. Just look at these maneuvers. Only operators who have reached the highest level of drone operation can perform these. Russian forces are now using fewer armored vehicles on the front lines. Having lost thousands of armored vehicles since the start of the war, Russian forces are now using smaller vehicles that allow for greater troop mobility. However, as you can see, these vehicles are quite vulnerable and inadequate. A Russian soldier became the target of a drone while in the bathroom. The soldier couldn't escape when he opened the door and saw the drone in front of him. The next attack is quite interesting. The Russian soldier ignores the drone that is about to attack him. The soldier continues walking as if nothing has happened, but why is he not responding at all? Different attacks and different soldiers, yet the same reactions. Russian soldiers simply wait or stand still in the face of drones. They ignore them as if there were no drones at all. So what is the reason for this? This soldier also chose to stand motionless under a tree. Is it because they think they can't do anything against the drones? It is also evident that those who are trying to fight are not accomplishing much. A group of Russian soldiers traveling on the road in a military vehicle suddenly came under attack from a Ukrainian FPV drone. 2 soldiers got out of the vehicle and immediately began to flee. The FPV drone successfully targeted a military objective. The other soldier, who fled in a different direction, couldn't get very far before the second drone immediately located him. Ukrainian forces continue to conduct reconnaissance in the Donetsk region. Roads frequently used by Russian soldiers are being searched with FPV drones. Soon after, a Russian military vehicle was detected by the drone's radar. The soldiers immediately got out of the vehicle and fled, but the vehicle was completely destroyed. These 2 Russian soldiers became the target of a drone while patrolling the front lines on an ATV. The two soldiers did not survive. Although Russian soldiers now use these off-road vehicles on the front lines, they are completely exposed targets against drones. Two soldiers who chose a rather poor place to hide were caught in the drone attack like this. A Ukrainian FPV drone operator is lying in wait in the Sumy region. This tactic has been used by Ukrainian forces for a long time. Shortly after, two Russian soldiers appear. The soldiers noticed the drone on the ground, but couldn't quite figure out what it was. Russian soldiers didn't understand what was happening when the drone operator launched the attack. This image shows the struggle between a Russian soldier and a Ukrainian FPV drone. The Russian soldier is in completely open terrain and defenseless, trying to escape the drone. There is only a bush. The Russian soldier keeps running and circling around the drone. But despite all his efforts, he cannot escape being the drone's target. Look closely at the Russian soldier who was spotted. The Russian soldier who was spotted wandering alone in the Pokrovsk region was followed for a while by Ukrainian reconnaissance drones. The soldier was looking for a place to hide. He entered through the window of an abandoned building. He was still unaware that he was being watched. Ukrainian forces sent an FPV drone to attack. The Russian soldier wandered around unaware of the drone approaching to attack him. But why was this soldier alone? Did he desert the front line? What do you think about Russian soldiers constantly wandering alone on the front line? The Russian soldier spotted the drone and immediately began firing at it with his weapon. He was unable to hit the drone, which was only a few meters ahead of him. The explosive-laden drone struck the soldier directly. Ukrainian forces continue their relentless drone attacks on Russian logistics vehicles. Military trucks and vehicles transporting ammunition, food, and other military supplies to the front lines are being taken out one by drones. Military equipment left completely unprotected by Russian soldiers is being destroyed. Once again, a Russian soldier using an ATV is targeted by a drone. However, this time the soldier is aware that a drone is pursuing him. The soldier, trying to escape quite quickly, crashes. Even though he immediately gets out of the vehicle and starts running, it's already too late. A Ukrainian Air Force Su-27 aircraft conducted an airstrike with a GBU-62 guided bomb on a building identified as a Russian infantry assembly point near the village of Udashnoye in the Donetsk region, following aerial reconnaissance. 20 Russian soldiers were lost in the airstrike that hit its target precisely. A Russian soldier also became the target of a kamikaze drone. Although the soldier tried to retaliate, the drone was so fast that escape was impossible. Let's also look at the attack from another drone's camera. As can be seen, even if the soldier wanted to escape, there was nowhere he could go. Perhaps if he could have shot down the drone, he might have been able to escape. The FPV drone is searching for Russian soldiers again. Look, a Russian soldier is spotted shortly after. You can only see that there is a soldier there if you look very closely. This attack demonstrates that drones are faster than many military vehicles. The FPV drone detected the Russian military vehicle and quickly launched an attack. The soldiers noticed the drone, but they weren't fast enough to escape it. Take a look at this. This is the city of Toretsk in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones are trying to detect any movement in the city. Abandoned buildings are being monitored meticulously. This is because Russian soldiers use such places as shelters and trenches. As you can see from the images, the city has been completely destroyed. It has been completely evacuated. But don't be fooled by the ruins. The place you are looking at right now is one of the most critical tactical centers of the entire Eastern Front. The intense fighting between Ukraine and Russia continues. Drones have become the most critical weapon on the front lines, especially drone attacks. You've seen many drone attacks up to this point. However, the most striking thing is that Russian soldiers have been using completely flawed tactics against drones since the very beginning of the war. Why do you think Russian forces keep sending so many infantry troops to the front without any strategy? Or is this a strategy? Ukrainian forces are launching 1,500 drones every 2 days. That's a truly significant number. Russian forces are still making the same mistakes over and over again, losing thousands of soldiers every day. Do you think Russian forces could develop a highly effective anti-drone weapon? Share your thoughts with us in the comments.